Hi, my name is Gina, and I'm going to share with you my experience on a retreat to the Sacred Valley of Peru last year with Lorena Saavedra Smith, the owner and founder of Hanaq Prana Yoga Studios, and 8 other fabulous ladies. Why Lorena? Well, she's like this tiny little Peruvian dynamo that I can't imagine going anywhere in Peru without her by my side. She knows the culture inside and out, having been born and raised there, and it was just an amazing experience to go with somebody who really knows and loves the country. So I couldn't have made a better choice, than choosing Lorena as a host for a retreat to Peru. So I met Lorena in early 2015, and I had signed up for yoga classes for the first time ever in my life, as a recommendation from my physician. I was suffering from fibromyalgia and some other stress induced related conditions, and yoga and meditation were high up on the list of recommendations from my physician to help reduce the stress. I had only taken 5 yoga classes at Hanaq Prana Yoga Studios before I learned about the retreat, and I decided to take the leap, do something for myself. That was, I'm a mother. I have a now 6 year old. She just recently turned 6 years old. At the time, she had just turned 5. And I'm a business owner, and I'm sure you can just imagine from those two things the amount of stress that I have. But as most of us mothers do, we tend to care about everybody else before we take care of our own needs. And my physician was strongly urging me to reduce the stress, focus on self-care, and sometimes you just need a doctor or somebody to tell you that in order for you to do that and follow through. So I really labored over the decision of whether or not to take the trip, because I was concerned about leaving my daughter and my husband. My daughter just started kindergarten a couple months before the trip took place, and I just was having that typical mom guilt on, going away for 10 days and leaving my family behind and enjoying a vacation, which is how it might look on the outside, but really it was all about taking care of myself, spending quality time, not only relaxing, but in a place that, like Peru, that's just, I don't know, there's something, they don't call it the Sacred Valley for nothing. It's a very spiritual, energizing, electrical charged place. I think everybody in their lifetime should experience it. And I'm so glad I did. Just an amazing experience. What was one of the unique things about it was, besides knowing Lorena from the 5 yoga classes that I had taken at her studio, I did not know any of these other 8 women that joined us on the retreat. And some of them had been regular studio visitors, for classes. And that was one of my, I guess, apprehensions about the trip. It's like, wow, I'm going to go on this trip with all of these people that I don't really know. That's kind of scary. I've never done anything like that before. And especially with all women. I mean, if any of you who, like myself previously, have worked in like corporate America and been in an office with mostly women, that sometimes is stressful in and of itself. And before we even landed in Lima, we had all bonded, and these ladies, even though I don't get to see them every day, we communicate often, and I consider them truly good friends. And it was just an amazing experience to really share. All of us were coming from a different place in our lives and seeking something different, but we all have this common bond that we shared, and I just would not trade the experience for anything. When we landed in Lima, we spent all of our time in a section of town called Miraflores, and it was absolutely breathtaking. It's a coastal city, absolutely gorgeous. I got to attend Mass at the cathedral there with one of the other ladies, and have a couple of dining experiences while we were there and sightseeing. Just an incredible part of the trip, and it's all sea level, so no change for any of us Floridians who were traveling there. That was another one of my concerns because I struggle with some respiratory issues. I was really concerned about the trip, especially the Sacred Valley piece of it, since in Cusco it's like, I don't know, 12 or 14,000 feet above sea level, and I've never been above sea level really in my whole life. So, but anyway, I had gone to visit my pulmonologist before the trip, and he's from Ecuador, so similar terrain as the Sacred Valley, and he gave me some great advice. I followed all those orders to a T, and I didn't have any issues with altitude sickness, and really that is something that no one can prepare for. You can be in the best shape of your life and go to a place of high altitude and experience periods of altitude sickness, and then you could go there again later in your life and be perfectly fine. So it's hard to plan for that, but Lorena will give you plenty of advice before the trip. If you follow that, you should be fine. We were all fine on our trip. If you chew on coca leaves or drink tea made with coca leaves, that usually takes care of it, and really just avoiding alcohol, all the typical common sense type things, you will be just fine.